If you are just getting ready to take a train trip from Paris out to one of the country stations by TGV, we're going to walk you through how to navigate the station, how to find your train, how to find your carriage, how to find your seat, some of the mistakes we've made along the way. We'll be starting from Paris's large and beautiful Montparnasse station. This was a really quiet day, so I took the time to narrate and video throughout the station. A lot of times you'll be in these big stations and they are full of people. It's much like an airport. If you're used to traveling, you're going to be looking at these overhead signs. We are looking for Hall 2 on this particular day. That is where our train is going to be leaving from. So you're just going to keep looking up and watching for Hall 2. And you can see this right here. We're still following Hall 2. There's escalators everywhere. One thing I will point out to get to these big train stations, just grab a taxi. If you have luggage, it is way easier and less headache to just take a taxi to the front door of the station rather than navigating through metros and up and down stairs with all your luggage. We're still following the signs. There it is. And you're just going to find your way. Get there early. Even though you may find it boring, we always try to get there really early. And you're going to be looking for your track number, which is right here. And you can see a restroom sign, which you will want to make note of right there. There are not many restrooms anywhere in France that we found, especially in train and airport stations. These are track numbers. They're called voies in French, and we're going to go to the boards and start looking for our train. Once you know your train number, it will show, I believe, 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes before your boarding time. So you're going to have some time to just wait and watch those boards until your train track line number will show on these boards right here. And I love how quiet it is, but you can see there's not much seating unless you go in this little cafe right here. I believe this next door is a club, but it looked like it was kind of reserved for people with passes or special access. So here we have the boards right here, and we're going to be looking for our particular train. On this particular day, we're looking for the 4th train down, which is not going to say Tours, it says Poitiers. And you need to know that. We had the biggest trouble with this when we first started taking trains. Like, where's our train? You need to know the end destination of your train, which in our case was Poitiers, and Tours was where we were getting off. So it will not say Tours. You are looking for the train that ends in Poitiers. And nothing is showing there, but over on here you can see these right-hand side, they are populated with numbers, and that is the line number that won't show until you get closer to boarding time. So we're just going to come back and watch this and wait until our track number shows, and then we'll go and find it down the line there. And then you're going to watch on the wall here, these numbers are the track numbers, and there are tracks downstairs. So we ended up having to go downstairs for our track for this particular ride. But you'll just have your ticket. Make sure you have a paper ticket and the one on your phone. You'll scan it, and then the doors will open and you will go to your track line and wait for your train. And there was only one bathroom on this whole floor that I found. If you are looking for a restroom in train stations and airports, look for the little sign that will have 2 people on it. Usually it's orange, and they are not everywhere like we would expect in the US, but you will see them here and there. And we're going to follow the sign that says WC for water closet, and you're going to follow that towards the WC. One thing to know about French bathrooms in many places, I have found this out the hard way, you need to have 1 or 2 euros in your pocket to get in and be ready for people fumbling around at the entrance because they didn't bring cash. You're going to need to pay to get in, and sometimes you pay and the door will open to let you in, just you. And I have found the hard way that the toilet will not flush until you leave and the door shuts behind you. And I have spent an embarrassing amount of time in French bathrooms trying to figure out how to flush the toilet. Here is that orange sign. This was the only bathroom here. It was right here in the corner, away from everything. But we came back here, and you can see that we're headed to track 23. So we walked all the way back down and went downstairs to find our train. And we were looking for car number 10 as we got downstairs. And here we are in front of the train, and you can see next to the door there is a printout right there on the left side above the door, and it will tell you which car you are looking in. And often there is the train car number also inside, which we will talk about soon. Number 2 on the side here just says second class. Do not get in a number 1 unless you have a first class ticket. We walked down the train, check the next one. This was car 9, and we're going to go down and look for car 10. carriage is what they're called. So this would be carriage 10, and this was the right one. It says 10, even though it's kind of hard to see in the video here, but this was 10. So we went ahead and jumped on, found our seat, and got comfortable. Once you get situated, you can put your roller bags that are small up above. It's very small space there. There is a little bit of a luggage rack right there in some parts of the car, and the rest can sit down by your leg. And then you have seat numbers on the seats, but I will show you some interesting things about that as we get going, because the numbers are random, and I am not kidding. I actually just saw an article that talked about the French train system is trying to regulate a way to make sure that the numbers on train cars actually make sense to the average train riding human being. And we're going to talk about that next. We're going to walk through how to find your car and your assigned seat in more detail. But one thing I will also point out on these train rides, keep your ticket handy, because often the conductors will come along the train somewhere along the ride and ask to see your ticket. And if you can't produce it, you will be fined probably on the spot, and it will cost more than the ticket. So have your ticket and keep it handy so you can show it as they walk along and ask for it. Also be paying attention as they come into stops at different stations. If you're getting on or off at these stops, often the stop is for like 1 minute. So I've seen people literally miss their stop and jump up and be like, oh no, that was my stop, and the train's already leaving. So keep your ears open for that French lady overhead saying prochaine arrêt and your train stop so you can get off in time. Now let's talk about finding your actual car and your seat. This is what you're looking for. That right there is flashing, but it shows car 17, and we're looking for our seats, which are going to be upstairs in the 61 to 126 region. And so you follow those signs and go up the stairs once you have found your right car. When you get to the top, you're going to go left or right. Left is car 16, right is car 17, and the seat numbers are there. So be paying attention, take some time, and head to your car. And it will be called carriage on your train ticket. And then you're going to be looking for your seat numbers, which are clearly marked right here. But we are going to show you one car that we were in, and this was not uncommon for the seat numbers to be completely not in line. You've got a nice little tray table on this one that pulls down, a little bit of a cup holder. There's room for my bag on this train under the seat in front of me. This was the TGV from Saint-Malo back to Paris. You've got some plug-ins for your goodies right there. You have Wi-Fi on the trains, which I never take advantage of. Looks like there's a small amount of luggage storage up above, so I was able to put our 2 carry-on light bags up there, and my big bag went under the seat, but there's not a lot of room. Otherwise, you have to put your bigger luggage on like luggage racks at the ends of the carriage, which I'm not wild about. There is a seat recline here and a little light button there, so you have a little reading light you can see right here that just flashes on and off. But let's talk about weird train seat numbers. Here we have 151, 152. The seats right in front of them were 145, 146. Mine are 157 and 58. And then nothing is in order. If you look down the line here, you'll see 157 and 158. And the one past that is number 153 and 140 on that side. Like, none of this made any sense to me at all. I could not figure this out. So unfortunately, you'll probably have to deal with some funny numbers, but make sure you find your right car number, and then you can take your time finding your seat. I hope this helps somebody navigate this. I do know TGV trains, you will have to have an assigned seat, so you're gonna have to figure this out. The TER trains, you can book a second class ticket and you will have an unassigned seat. That means just jump on any car marked 2 for second class and take an empty seat. But hopefully our mistakes will help somebody out there. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video.